What's up, everyone? Hello, welcome back, guys. Welcome back, fam. How's everyone doing? How are you guys feeling? How's the day going? Who's excited for the World Cup? Who was excited for the World Cup final? Who's excited for the World Cup final? Uh, yeah, I'm really excited. I was very happy that Argentina really won. Most especially Messi was able to get his hand on his own World Cup. Yeah, it was actually a fun match to watch, and really excited about that, and very happy for Messi too. He is actually my best player. Yeah, he's actually my best player. So yeah, we didn't stream yesterday like we supposed to do, but unfortunately we didn't. But we'll be doing that today. We'll be trying to stream previous stuff we could have done yesterday, which we didn't do. So let's get on board with that. Yeah, the last time we actually did stream, we had an issue with with our app, and that's because I kind of like found out that's because our database was only made for the desktop app we are working with. So in this case, we are using mobile app, so it doesn't make sense to actually use the same data from the database because the database will actually reset depending on the devices that you are using there. So we are not kind of doing anything like a backup. So yeah, if you are doing a backup, so you will still reutilize the same data from the previous um, platform you are using. Let's say you open the app on a website for the first time, and you decided to add all your to-dos inside it and every single thing that you wanted to do for the to-dos in it, and then you decided to open it up again on mobile app, maybe on your iOS, Android, or stuff like that, and you actually find out that the to-dos will be empty. That's because, like I said initially, because we are not doing anything like backup or syncing your data online, so that you can actually be able to put it on any platform you are using. Yeah, we haven't added that yet. That's not actually implemented. That was the reason why we are having the problem from the previous stream, and I wasn't able to notice it then. Not until I just kind of like looked through the whole stuff, and I figured out, okay, yeah, that was the problem. Yeah, that's actually fixed at the moment. We're no longer having the same issues. So let's go back and let's go on and start working on stuff. Currently, right now, let's first of all work on the UI. Basically the color, the background color of the sidebar. It doesn't look good to me. It should be almost the same color as this. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know what you guys think about that. I wanted to make it the same color as what we have here, or we should leave it this like this. But let's try the same color. Let's see what that looks like. Let's try giving it the same color as this. Let's see what we get out of that. So let's go back to where are we? Yeah, our theme colors, because that's where we actually use this. So our theme colors, first of all, just go ahead and clear all my tabs that I have open. All the tabs, we're not using it at the moment, so just clear them. Because leaving it here will actually consume all of your memories and your CPU and all those stuff. So just to conserve memories and CPU usage, we just have to delete all this tab we currently have open. And I actually always kind of like do this a lot. I always like kind of like opening up tabs on my VS Code, also on my browsers. One of my browsers right here at the moment has up to 100. Oh no, yeah, this one has up to 150 tabs currently open. And that's insane. The funny thing is there's actually two browsers. One is 150, the second one is 50 tabs currently open at the moment, and that kind of like consumes a lot of CPU usage and also the memories and RAM and those stuff. Let's kind of like clear this. I'm currently not having an effect. That is currently not showing any effect on my on my device, that because I cannot have a bigger RAM compared to anybody that has a slower RAM. Let's say you have your RAM is up to 6 gig or 4 gig, you actually feel the effect. But in this case, my RAM is up to 64 gig, so I can't feel the effect at the moment. Yeah. No, my job, no, the link is actually working. No, the link is actually working for real. Let me actually check it up. GitHub. I'm pretty sure about that because give me a moment. Let me actually bring up the GitHub here so you guys can actually see. The source code is live, is there on GitHub. You just open it. The issue is that the issue with the source code at the moment is that it's not the whole changes that we have been doing so far that's currently there. I will kind of have to upload more changes to it, kind of like push more changes. At the moment it's limited. The changes we have there is limited, so yeah, I'll just that reminds me, after the stream today I'll just make these new changes, push it to the repository so you guys can actually get access to it. My job, this is actually my GitHub, and this is a repository you are looking for. It's fake Dona app. Yeah, it's called fake Dona app. So yeah, there's actually the repository. Yeah, you can just it's live. Yeah, it's live. This is a URL there. It's live because I know that I kind of like added the URL. What did I do? I added a URL to the YouTube description. Yeah, this right here. But I'll still check if it's not added on the YouTube description. I'll just take a look and update that. But you can actually get access to the whole code right in here. And also don't forget to leave a star on the page, and don't forget to follow me on my GitHub too. Yeah, thank you. Let me know if you actually have any issues accessing it again. So right here we are. So let's go ahead and copy the color that I wanted to copy previously, and the color can be found on our team folder. So that's core folder. We go to team data. Then our team data thing. Yeah, there's the color that we're actually looking for. Try that right in here and see what that looks like. I'm gonna comment out this color that we have, and I'm gonna go ahead and paste this. And there you go. And I think that's really terrible bad. It's really bad because you can't even see the previous one. Kind of like both of them are blending together, which is not good user experience. Let's add opacity to it and see what that looks like with opacity. Let's say 0.4. Okay, I think it is good. Is the good? This one is good, much better. Yeah, I think it's much better. You can actually leave it this way, and yeah, you can leave it this way. Yeah, let's leave it this way for now. Let's leave it this way for now. Let's go ahead with our features that we're adding so far. So we have the background color kind of like gotten right at the moment. So what we need to do is actually make it possible that this will fit in, because if you take a look, you actually see that this sidebar is extending all the way to the end. We can't even see it because this side this page is kind of like on top of it, so you can't see it fully, so that's not good. So with that, I should have to make it smaller. To do that, just say drawer, because this is where we are used to doing this. The whole drawer, not everything, but basically our column, we could give our column a size. I will just use a size box on it. let's use a size box on it. So size box should be wrapped with size box, and you could just see we want the width to be around put it out of context dot size dot width, multiply this by 0.21. Let's see what we can actually get. Okay, that's too small, that's too bad. I'm not good. 0.6 a bit. Okay, what about 0.7? I think it's much better this way. Yeah, you can actually see the full thing. Yeah, but the numbers, the total numbers of to-dos within a particular list and all those stuff added. Yeah, I think this is much better. And also we have to add the same size box to our create button here, to our create list stuff. Just bring that down and wrap our custom input with it. So I will just say wrap with sized, wrap with sized box, and we have this for the width. Oh yeah, we don't need that. Yeah, I remember we don't need that, so I'm going to remove the size box from it. Yeah, we're good to go. Be good. So currently right now we have this, but we're having an issue. So if you tap outside, this doesn't go away, or until you tap over here, you tap, it shows up. You have to tap it again for it to go out. I think I actually leave it that way. I don't think there's actually a bug on my own side. I don't think it's a bug. I think it's actually good that way, except we have to fix this end. You can actually see this is kind of like overlapping at this window, so you have to give it a space like this, kind of like a bit of this space by the end also, so actually come on, look good. Let's see if there's any other stuff you have to fix. Okay, let's do that. So we go to the show drop down. So the show drop down, which is coming from the custom list input, which is from here. These are custom list input. So we are using max width of 380. That's what we are using. In this case, we have to kind of like fix it a bit. Remove this, I don't need that. From the left, 15 from the right. Okay. Position left, right. It could add position, right. So let's see if that's gonna fix it, or but there's other ways you can actually do this, but let's try position right. Let's see if we can actually have a way a bit. Okay, yeah, that's much better. I added the position right to it. Looks like this is too much. Let's leave it as 20. There we go. You can actually still have a scrollable emojis right in here. Also have a color list showing up too. You can scroll through a color list. That's actually working. That's cool. You can actually toggle this off to go away. You could go ahead and start. Let's try selecting stuff. You can actually see the selection is working. You could select colors. You could select anything that you want. You could select the emoji also, so that's nice. You could toggle this to go off. I could still write stuff in here, a new list, so you can actually name the list, this particular list, personal. I'll just call this personal health. Yeah, there we go. I think that makes sense. And I'm going to select a color for that instead of an emoji, or we can just select a color. have the emoji of a doctor or health or stuff like that. We still have to fix this search field, because right now it's not working, so you can be able to search through colors and emojis. That would be later features we can actually add. And guys, very soon I will be bringing collaboration stream on this our channel. So just trying to collaborate with other developers. I don't know if you guys like that. What do you guys think about that? Just collaborate with many other developers and work on stuff online. Also basically work on content projects that I'm currently doing right now. Where is a medical emoji? I thought there is an emoji for medical purposes. Okay, looks like we can actually have anyone right in here. Let's choose any random, maybe a flower. I think that works. Then just go ahead and save this. This should be from toggle our keyboard, software keyboard on. When you tap on done, yeah, that should be able to save this. But I can actually see that our keyboard is still showing up, so we should be able to dismiss our keyboard also. To be able to achieve that aspect, we need to wrap our custom drawer with a gesture dictator. Just wrap the whole stuff, which should be from sized box. Okay, so yeah, size box. Just wrap the size box with a gesture. Gesture detector. Just thinking if that is actually a better way to do this. Yeah, looks like say gesture detector. Just whenever the user taps on this, I think we have a function for that already. It should be inside our utils folder. Not in here, so we can actually create one. This should be called actually a void function called a hide keyboard. There you go. And hiding keyboard just need to unfocus, so this should be focus. Even call again focus manager on focus. Trying to remember that. I think I have a code right in here that can actually do that. I'm trying to remember the logic for doing that. Just kind of like forgot. My small brain always forgets most of the code that I usually write on my own. That's actually interesting. That should be coming from, let's see, hide keyboard. Okay, I see it. Yeah, I have one right in here, so there's a code I'm looking for. Go to definition. I will just copy this out, then we could just use that. Now we'll go in there to explain what we are doing, what the code is actually doing. So we have a code called hide keyboard, which is a function that requires a context of the current parent or anybody that's calling it. And we have a focus scope node for managing focus on flutter and passing a context to it. And what it does is to check if current focus has a primary focus. If it doesn't, if that's not true, then go ahead and unfocus this. Basically, this will be our primary focus. Then if you tap on it, then the main focus is the primary focus is true, do not focus. But yeah, so yeah, if that's not true, which is we are tapping on our body right here, so that will actually make this that will actually make this code to actually work, which will be current focus dot on focus. We just basically remove the focus, the keyboard focus, by toggling the keyboard off, and then allowing us to do any other stuff on our UI. If you go ahead and call this code, so that should be hide keyboard. Let's call it right in here. Needs to import it also, passing the context parameter to it, which is current context. Basically, we're also getting the context from our build tree. Our widget build tree is the one person giving us the context right in here, and just pass it. And you actually see the keyboard is now off. If you tap again, okay, now should restart. Okay, that's strange. It shouldn't be doing that. Should be on focusing. Unfortunately, it's not actually on focusing. Let's remove this. Looks like we need to add it somewhere else. We're about wrapping our safe area with a gesture detector. I have on tap. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna open this, tap, on tap, at the background should on focus. Unfortunately, that's not actually what we are having right in here. Let's see if this is actually being called. Log, say tapped. So let's do this. When you tap outside, nothing actually works. So meaning that it's not actually receiving any tap gestures at all. So we need to fix that fox, because if you tap, we are actually logging this at the moment, trying to log a debug statement to basically help us to debug where the errors is coming from. We could actually access to this, that our gesture detector, our tap is not actually receiving any gesture events also. So if you tap, it doesn't receive events. That is only when you tap on the icons over here. So yeah, I'm trying to see that. Yeah, it doesn't receive any events, so we need to fix that issue. Okay, I think we the issue. Okay, I see. Yeah, which can actually make sense right now. We're actually calling this within a shared input, within a shared widget, which is basically a widget that displays this particular sidebar that we have here, which is limited and not um, the whole drawer that we currently have, and that's actually the reason why it's not actually receiving that gesture event. So we have to wrap the main parent, which is basically the whole stuff in charge of every single thing in here. So that's the one we actually need to wrap. The parent already have a gesture detector, and what I will do is whenever it's hide sidebar is called, okay, on drag updates, on drag start. I will say also when there's also an on tap event on it, could as well call this function hide keyboard, and let's test this one out. Let's go. Open tab. Now that's working. That's cool. Yeah, we got it working, because yeah, that kind of like figured it out, because it doesn't make sense. The error was that we are actually wrapping these widgets right in here, my drawer, which is basically this particular widget, and this widget is kind of like creating this small layer that we're actually seeing here, this view layer. And so the parent already has a gesture dictator at the top, so this one is kind of like overshadowing the child gesture events, so something like that. And so we need to add the gesture events at the top most parent, which is basically this particular drawer that we have. So we wrap it with a gesture event, and we are passing the keyboard hide function to it to basically help us to hide our keyboard or show our keyboard, depending if if there's a focus within the input, which is over here. There's a focused input, we tap outside to unfocus the keyboard also, because whenever the input or the text form field receives a focus, the keyboard is being called, which is basically normal behavior. When there's the unfocused event, so the keyboard just basically goes out from the view. That kind of like solves our main problem right now. Let's see if there's any other stuff we need to fix. I don't think so. Let's have this. Okay. This is still working. What else do we need to do? What do you guys think about the background color we are using? Do you think is better, is good, or compared to this one? Because I currently have two colors we can actually use. So we have this, the current one we are using right now, or the previous one we used, which is the green one, this color. Or we could just basically stick the current color with this one. For me, I think this one is kind of like much better. This one right here is much better compared to the blue color that we are using previous, that I just showed you guys. But let's stick with this current one until kind of like something else comes up, then we can just switch over. So we can actually go ahead and create more to-dos list. So over here we can add a list here called this work list. And then select an icon or stuff like that. I'll basically select a color in our own case here. Just select a color. Let's close this and then tap done to save the new list that we created. And our list is actually saved within our app. And we just toggle it. Toggling this, we actually see the changes showing up here to show you, okay, this is the current list you are actually viewing. And that's actually cool. And if you want to see this fully, just tap on it and you can see the full list that we just created right away. And next, what you can actually do is to show you guys how to add a to-do to each list. This particular one I could actually say work Monday, just random stuff. Does not have to make any sense. Work Monday. If I want to add a note for the to-do, just have it add a comma, then double slash. Then we can start typing in our notes. I would say visit work office. Just type this. I can actually see the color kind of like differs, changes from the to-do title to the to-do notes. So to-do title is actually black in color, and the to-do note is actually kind of like brown in color. Yeah. So just try to differentiate that so that anybody that's using the app will know that when you add a double slash, any other stuff you're writing after the double slash is actually a note. So that's it. So visit work on Monday. That's basically our to-do notes. Simple as that. And I can just go ahead and save it by tapping over here. That will just save our to-dos. You can actually see the to-do, and you can toggle it to see that to-do is actually done, or you can untoggle it, can drag it all the way to the end to delete it, or you can leave it. Then you can tap on it to show a pop-up of the full to-dos, the to-do title, and then the to-do note. But there's an issue. The issue being that our to-do pop-up is actually off the screen. That's because on the desktop app, because we actually built the app on desktop. So yeah, that's the reason why we're having this. So had it been we focus on mobile before desktop, yeah, we could actually be able to fix this on mobile before doing it on desktop. But we already have the desktop one working good. Just have to fix the responsiveness on this area too, so it doesn't affect any stuff we are doing. To fix that will be so let's see, we currently have this work Monday, visit work on Monday, not completed, and this is going off screen. I'm thinking of either we show a pop-up or we direct the user to a new home page, but I think showing a pop-up actually makes more sense. So let's go ahead and fix this. That will be from our the current stuff that in charge of this pop-up will be on our main view. Is it the main view? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, within the main view. Yeah, I'll show drop down within the main view. Should be in charge of that. So I'll say from the right, at like 40.0. This is for mobile and small devices, or smaller width. There you go. Just added a comment. That's basically a comment to actually notify this what actually this is doing. So if you tap, there you go. You can actually see that showing up very good. And now you can actually tap over there, tap right here, mark this to be completed. So this is not actually working at the moment. Cancel, tap to be completed, tap to view the whole details, and you can make edits. So if you want to make edit, you can go ahead and make edit. I will say work on Monday. So I want this to be a capital letter, so I'll just switch over to here, change this to be capital letter. I'll just caps on my keyboard, then work Monday. I'll actually make this one to be capital letter also, and then add one or two stuff in there, so I can actually know that there's actually a change being made. Now save this. I can actually see that is actually working. So we have work Monday with the capital letters, and you can actually see that being added. So yeah, that changes is actually working fine. And for deleting still works on mobile. So for mobile deleting, just have to swipe this, and our to-do is actually deleted. We no longer have a to-do within a work list. And okay, looks like we have an issue. The to-do didn't delete. Should delete, but let's see why that is not working. Okay. So let's try deleting this again. Drag off the screen. We didn't receive any error, so it should actually be able to delete. Oh, we deleted the home the home page to do. Yeah, so that's one we deleted. So let's visit the work list to do. Let's try deleting that. So these are work list. Let's try removing this. Just drag off the screen. Did it work? And it worked. Yeah, that's fine. You can actually see our work list to do is actually deleted at the moment, so that's cool. That's fine with what we are getting towards too. I'm trying to see if our mobile, if we have any issues on mobile, because every single stuff is working on desktop and web except mobile so far. So looks like our mobile is good. And next stuff I'm actually thinking of, I want to move this from the top all the way to the bottom, so we can actually have a way for the user to select if they want to see this at the top or if they want to see this at the bottom right here. And that's basically from the main design itself. If I should show, I will show you guys the main design that we currently have, because we're getting the design from a real to-do app. So the to-do app is actually out there. So the main design looks exactly like this. Dribble, and is kind of like saved it on my Dribble page. So for Dribble is basically where I kind of like get design inspirations on stuff to do and projects to work on, or kind of like my go-to design. Also I use Behance. Behance is actually good. The same with Dribble. I use Behance, Dribble a lot. Sometimes Figma community. So Figma community has also a designers page where you can actually see lots of designs out there. So I'm trying to show you guys what I'm trying to do with the bottom bar. Let's see, should be here somewhere. Should be here somewhere. Come on. Not seeing this. Okay, guys, give me a moment. Kind of like forgotten where I got this from. Okay, yeah. So should be here. Not this one. Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to implement. So I want to bring this down all the way to the bottom here, so it can be easy for the user to tap instead of going all the way to the top to tap. But some user might prefer to tap at the top instead of tapping at the bottom. So I still want to give the users access or ways to be able to tap to select if they want the keyboard to be here or if they want the keyboard to be here. So you can actually have a way to do that coming from here. So I'll add a button that will allow us to toggle right in here how we want our keyboard to be displayed, either at the top or at the bottom. But let's go ahead and try to bring this down all the way to the bottom and see what that looks like. So let's try implementing this particular view. That will be something like, so I go to the main view. Okay, yeah, still a main view. Currently our main view has a sidebar at the top, and yeah, at the top somewhere right there. What we want to do when it's on a mobile device, we actually want to have, wait a second, I'm trying to figure out again. So where's our this, where is it actually located? I'm trying to figure out where we added that. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so this is what we're actually looking for. Still want to have a way to bring this test form field. We still have to make it reusable later on, so for now it's not actually reusable. We are just copying the same code over and over again, which is not good, but just for seeing how this works and how it looks before moving it to a separate home, so I can actually call it whatever we want. So I have this test form field shown up here, and we decided to add it at the bottom of our widget. Yeah, so I'm gonna head and save it. Wait a second, it didn't show up, so something might be wrong. It should actually show up somewhere here. So it's looking for something called active tab. Okay, in that case I need to actually delete most of the stuff we have here. There you go. Save it. Yeah, there you go. You can actually see it showing up here. Yeah, you got this one right at the moment. So what I will need to do is to add a size box so I can actually be pushed up a bit. So I'm going to say height. I'm going to say somewhere around 40.0. Make this to be a constant. And save. Actually, see that showing up at the top here. Okay, yeah, that reminds me, we have to delete most of the stuff we currently have here at the moment. You can actually see this is actually hiding our first one. That's because there's an error that has been shown because we are using the same global key in two widgets, which doesn't make sense. Global keys are kind of like unique, so you should use it at one particular widget, not on multiple widgets. So that's why this one is being hidden when we actually added this one. But I just removed that, and now both of them are now showing up. So you can bring this up a bit. So what we want to do is to allow the user to tap in any of these widgets and have them focus. Remove this for now and comment it out. So let's say the user goes and tap on this. Yeah, so you see the animation, so they are kind of like similar animation that we have here, but in this case we are kind of small when it's done, and when the user taps on it, it grows bigger at the top, so we can actually add that also. So this is how you go. So tap goes up, tap goes down. So we are still having the same similar animation also, but we can still go much further to add some stuff to it. So we can twist it a bit. We could actually have a way to animate the size, maybe make the size smaller or bigger depending on animation. If you guys are interested in seeing that will be a bit of like 20 minutes for us to achieve that, but I think we'll actually give it a try to see how that works. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to create an animation property somewhere at the top. Somewhere at the top right in here. Just start creating an animation. It's gonna be lit, and I'm gonna say animation controller. I'm gonna call this input sizing animation. So that's animation name. Capital by closing it. and we need to add with single ticker state mixing. So we just use single ticker state mixing. So basically, a mixing is a way of adding a functionality to a class, extra functionality to a class, because you can't extend two classes at the same time. You can't say extend state class and also extend another class. So you can't do that. It doesn't make any sense. But with mixing, you can actually have a way to extend a class, and then you can actually have multiple mixings within a class. I think we actually do that. Multiple mixing, so you can actually have a ticker provide as a state mixing. Let's see. You can actually add multiple. Yeah, you can actually add multiple, but the reason why this is actually highlighting a lead line underneath this mixing is because this is actually implementing a ticker state that this single ticker is actually, both of them are implementing the same stuff, and you can use them at the same time. So that's the only error we're having there. So let's go in here. I'm gonna say underscore input sizing is equals to animation. Okay, animation. Oh, I made a mistake. I should be animate. Damn, what I'm even doing. So animation controller. Yeah, there we go. And basic is this, comma, duration. We're gonna use our duration object. We're going to use our duration class to create a duration object. That's going to be used right in here. I'm going to say duration should be milliseconds, not microseconds. I'm going to give this to be 1000 milliseconds. Is there any other stuff we need to add? I don't think so. We don't need any other stuff in there. No more. Okay, yeah, we don't need that. So next stuff is to actually add a size animation, and this is how to do that. I'm going to select animation, late animation of type is actually a double. Type should be size animation. There you go. Size animation is equals to we could add, it should be a twin animation. I would say begin. Okay, let's say that we want the width to begin from 100 and stop at 200. Basically have end, so I want this to stop at 200. What else do we need? Dots, animate. Dot animate, we pass in the controller that we want. Input size and animation. There you go. And next we have to focus on the input instead that we want to animate. Mostly I use animated builder for doing my animations and other stuff, so I just wrap this with animated builder. But the reason why I usually use animated builder because it's much more performance based reason. So yeah, so I have this animated builder and we have the animation to be basically size animation should be input size and animation, and this is the shade that we have. The animation type we want to do is that we want to made a mistake. Yeah, first of all, let's remove this. So wrap this again. With a builder, and we could change the builder to animation animated builder. There you go. Should have a shard property, and once we have the shard property, and this will have animation, and we are passing in size, input size, and animation. I think that's basically what we need at this point. Okay, yeah, also welcome back, Mohammed. Thanks for watching the playlist. Thanks. Also try to leave your suggestion on anywhere on the videos you are currently watching. Let me know what you think, and also let me know which topic on flutter you want me to cover next, and what stuff you need to see me doing next. Thanks for that. So let's see. Oh my goodness, what did I actually press? Okay, yeah, there you go. Save this. We're gonna have late initialization error, but what I want to do is that we want to animate the size. We could use transform the scale. Okay, transform the scale. Scaling property. Just want to scale on x-axis, so I'm going to say scale on x-axis, and I should start with size animation, the value, and this will only start working when there's an untap. So whenever there is an untap, so we are looking for untap gesture within our keyboard, so I'll just say untap. Whenever there's an untap gesture, then we could go forward and try to do this. What we want to do is to move the animation forward. So input sizing animation does forward, and that's way bigger than what we are actually thinking of doing. So we need to limit the animation styles we have right in here at the top, because we say the animation should start from 20. Okay, scaling is from 0 all the way to 1 is the highest, right? So it starts from 1. What about 0.2? Okay, that's okay. Let's try this. Okay, that's too much. Let's go back. Let's say should be yeah. So let's give it this size. So let's say this is the actual size, but that's not the actual size here. Let's say we want this to grow all the way from there to 1.0. Yeah, 1.0. And if you go ahead and tap on this, this should reverse back when it goes out of focus. So okay, we can actually listen to focus mode. Let's create a focus node. A second focus node we can actually listen to and play along with that and see what we can actually have. Yeah, that reminds me, always remember to actually dispose your animation. So call dispose on animation. I usually don't forget this, but I don't know why I did this point, but yeah, that's it. So we currently have this at the moment, so I'm gonna say input dot, can we listen to this? Okay, there's actually a listen. Listener will be called, okay. So when this is called, so let's have an if statement. I'm gonna use an if statement right here, and we can just use that to check if our focus node actually has a focus. So I'm gonna see if focus input focus dot has focus that has focus is equals to false. Then we could just unfocus our events. So let's see input focus, focus, yeah. So we have this functionality that we want to try out. Then whenever this is being called, we want to call the focus block t. So I'm going to say log this, then input focus, give us the current focus whenever there's a events, to string to be able to pass into the log statement, because the log statement allows only a string, so we are converting the object and using the toString class of that particular object to convert it to object. So yeah, that's it. And next we have to use this on the inputs we just created right in here. We just have to attach a focus to it, focus node, and we pass in the input focus to this right in here. So let's try this. Restart and try tapping on this. So this received the focus. Let's see. Okay, that's true. So you receive the focus, which is true. And close it. And if I tap outside, it should unfocus also. And yeah, the focus is false. So that's cool. That's what we are going to do is that when we unfocus, we just want to revert back the animation, so making this smaller the same way it is before. So the way to do that is to, when it's on focus, I don't need to call this on focus anymore because it's already been called by our UI. What we need to do basically right in here is that when has focus is equals to false, I need to say animation sizing animation input sizing animation dot reverse, just reverse the animation to its original states. And if you run this code and try this, see how that grows up. You see how that kind of like shrinks together when kind of like is on focus. So that's basically the functionality that if the UI event or feature we are looking for, the functionality we are looking for. So you tap, it glows, tap, it shrinks down. So yeah, if you take a look, so we can actually reduce the duration of this animation to something like 400. See how fast this animation can go to be like. So if you tap, yeah, so you just reduce it more. So we're trying to see if we're going to rhyme with the keyboard animation. If so if the keyboard itself has an animation, the opening of the keyboard is kind of like an animation, so we want it to rhyme together. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So that's a nice one. So that's basically the kind of stuff we are looking for within our app. So right now we have that. Gonna actually have to make it to be rounded also. Just round it, and that's not hard to do, so we could just implement that by just so this is how to get to that section, what we are trying to do right now. So we have our test form field. We need to add a border radius around this, so just increase the border radius. So let's say we want this to be around 20. I don't know if that's going to be too much. We're looking at rounding this, but it's not showing up the way we want it. No. Just trying to use box decoration in here. See if we can actually get the decoration code. I'm gonna say color should be colors dot gray for now. There you go. This should have border radius, just passing the same border radius we have here. Next, you should have border around it, and we can just remove the border Bloc T. Don't want to add a border color, and then fill should be false. Okay, looks like our input does not want to round. It's kind of like a little bit of a problem right here. Looks like our input is having issues with rounding. I want to see height. So height should be around 30.0. What about making it 40 so I can actually see if this rounds fully? Yep, so we can actually go ahead and keep our border radius at is at the moment to that point, because I'm kind of like a bit not remembering how to actually run this properly. Just keep it this way and remove the container that we just added. There's no need of adding a container again. Okay, let's revert back again. What I try to do is try to implement this one more time by kind of like using a container with a border, just trying to force a border, rounded border with a container. But we didn't kind of like achieve the look that I'm looking for, but just stick with what we have at the moment. So you can figure out to fix that, because I don't know. Still remember that I usually do that somehow before, but all of a sudden right now within the screen, the stream, I can't even remember again. Yeah, but so let's see. So we currently have this showing up, and we actually achieved the animation the way we wanted it to. Okay, that makes sense. That's the roundedness of the test form field kind of like shows up depending on the if the width is actually being stretched, and it goes to this form. Okay, let's see. Looks like the scaling is what is actually distorting the scaling we are using is what is actually causing the issues in this case. Let's actually remove the scaling. See what this looks like. Just remove this. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and we just wrap this with size box for the same animation. Target the width, and we could just say should be size and animation dot value, multiply that by 20. Let's see. Okay, that's too small. Multiply that by 90. Whatever, multiply that by 190. 290. 390. And then goes up. Okay, shrinks. Okay, but the issue is that this is actually shrinking within one-sided, kind of like it's expanding within this process this way, but that's not what we are looking for. I want it to kind of like expand on both ways. I think we can actually achieve that by using alignment on this. I'm going to use align. Alignment class dot center, if that's actually going to solve our problem. It's still the same one-sided. Let's go back to test form field, transform again. Yeah, let's go back to transform. We are transforming on the x-axis, so let's see how you can actually fix this. So we are transforming on the x-axis, and this is center, transform, filter quality, no, don't need that. Origin, offset, no. On the y-axis, let's see how we can actually have this scale, because if you just scale, it will just transform this both x and y, but we just want the x-axis, and the y maybe we can actually have close on stuff. Let's say 1:1.0. Let's say 1:0.8. Okay, we kind of like figured out where the issues is coming from, but let's tweak one of this stuff to see if that's going to fix it. So we have start from 0.5, that's still 0.5 or 0.5, and end at 1.0. Say start from 0.8 and end at this, or just start from 0.9. It's not even going to grow anymore. Yeah, we just revert back to 0.5 that we have, and just transform only the x-axis and no longer the both x and y. So just revert back to x. Just leave y at the moment. Just figure out later how to fix this one, and there we go. We just have our custom inputs, another custom input, but at the bottom of our app that can actually be animated to grow or shrink depending on the current focus it receives. So if it receives a focus, it grows. Why there's no focus, it just shrinks back to its normal width. I'm just testing some stuff out, see how this actually applies. Yeah, I think you can just leave it this way at the moment, until you figure out other ways to actually make this work much better. Maybe in our next stream should be able to get you guys something working better, because right now you can only use scaling. The scaling kind of like distorts the height is not kind of rounded the way we want it to, but I'm going to look into it. But at least we can actually see the animation we are looking for, how it kind of like works. See that That's cool. Basically the same stuff you have right in here. Just the only difference is that we don't have this more space between it and the keyboard. So to reduce that spacing between it and the keyboard, we also need to animate this point, also the size box that we have here. So if you reduce this size box to 10, you see there's no more spaces between it and the keyboard again. But if you remove this, so that this kind of like goes straight down, almost out of the screen. And if you submit your app with like this, it's going to be rejected by iOS, because your app is almost blocking the view, the tap view, which is basically this side. When the user might be when trying to tap on this, whereby tapping on this button right here, so it doesn't make any sense to have it. So we could actually go ahead and animate this also. We'll say could actually do it this way. I will say wrap with builder. Animated. So use animated builder, and the builder, the animation is basically from our own sizing, input sizing animation. It's going to have a shade, not change, but basically shade property. And we want to animate the height of this, so we're going to use sizing animation, the value, multiply that by 1.2. Let's see what that looks like. So there's a double. Okay, that's not good. I'm gonna say minus this. Come on. So let's try this. So if this is complete, I want to make it to be 10, else it should be 30. And if you do this, yeah, so just kind of like a bit of 6, yeah. a little bit of spacing between them both. And if it's not completed, it should be 30, but if it's completed, yeah, there you go. So if it's completed, it goes to this end, but if it's not completed, yeah, the spacing is being added. So yeah, we are good to go. So we got that working. So let's save this again and try this one more time. So if you tap on this, if the animation is completed, so there should be a little bit of spacing between it and the keyboard, but if it's not completed, then this should be a bigger spacing between it and the bottom of our app, and that's good. We could just go with that. Then tomorrow we can actually work on how to allow the user to toggle between using this keyboard or this keyboard. Basically I'm saying this input here, or the user using this input. So it doesn't make sense to have both of them showing up at the same time. The user should be able to toggle some icon here that will tell them, okay, use this or use this. If you want the input to be at the top, or you want the input to be at the bottom. Like I said, some users might want their keyboard, their inputs, or their touch event, something like that, to be at the top, so they can be able to stretch their hands. Some users like that. Most users doesn't want to be able to stretch their hand. So that's actually a good user experience. You want to kind of offer both different users something to work with. So if they don't want to stretch their hand up to the top, they should be able to just tap below them. I have the inputs below them to tap and just add whatever they want to add. So yeah, that's what we can actually work on tomorrow. But for this case right here, we actually done with the animation of the input field and having everything working the way we want it to work. And actually the animation is smooth and good. That now you can improve it a bit more if you want to, but we can actually look into that tomorrow. Now we actually got this working. The next stuff you want to fix that's working on other places, that's basically not working on our own mobile. I just have to add a text in here, just say homework. I just have some stuff, doesn't look empty. Just have some stuff in there. Yeah, home shows. Tap outside, that goes off. Yeah, just have some lists in there, and then you can actually, this is working at the moment, so we're able to fix all this to have a way to select between different lists that we want to use. And also we fix this today. We're able to work on all this stuff today. Next I want to work on is to be able to have a way to select dark mode or light mode depending on what we want. If you tap on this, it's not actually working, it's not toggling our settings page. We want to, in a situation that when we tap on this, we should be able to have our setting page showing up within our screen, or we should have another screen for all our settings within our app. So that's what we actually have to try to work on right now. So I will go ahead and create a new app. So this will be the first time we are creating a page, a second page. So far within throughout our app, we are just using a single page app so far, but right now I'm going to create a new screen. I can actually still call it settings screen. Okay, if we still use, we can still use the settings screen. I think that is okay, but the issue is our settings screen at the moment is having kind of like overlay. It's kind of using an overlay kind of like stuff on it, but we can use that, or we could just basically remove it entirely and use another setting screen when we are on mobile. Let's just try using this one and see what this looks like. So I'm gonna say when user taps on something like this, so when it taps on this button, want to navigate them to this particular screen. What is it? So that should be inside a custom drawer. Within, yeah, I think inside a custom drawer, yeah. And we scroll down to, yeah, these are settings icon. Yeah, we're good to go. Right in here, I'm also want to navigate to the settings screen. I'm gonna say navigator dot of context, the particular screen that we want to use to push, then push us to, we are not using named, we are not using replacement, so basically use push. And the route we want to push is material page route. So let's see, where is it? Material page route. Yeah, there you go. And we're going to use a builder that has a context, same current context. And basically we also return the setting screen that we're trying to navigate to in there, and a comma, then cap this off by closing it, and import. Okay, no need that. This needs us to pass some data to it, some required parameters to it, and I don't want to create the required parameters. In this case, we could just use on close tab when it's called, this for closing the when it's on desktop, and this for animating the opacity, and this for settings controller, opacity animation, slide animation. So we don't need all these properties in this case, so that means we have to create a new screen for displaying our settings on a mobile device, or we could just go back to settings screen. There's another way to do this and mark all this to be optional, because right now we made every single one of them to be required. Then we have to mark them to be optional to be able to use them, because I don't want to be passing this data anymore. I just want to be there's another way I can actually be able to use it on mobile, but I don't want to be passing the data. But on desktop, we need to pass all this data. So that kind of defeats the purpose of reusing this particular widget. Or we just want, or like I said, there's another way, which is basically marking every single one of these to be optional. And marking it optional then will require us to have some ways to make sure that this will not be optional in any screen. None of this will be no when it's on desktop, but it can be no when it's on mobile. So that's another way to achieve it, but I think that's actually a long way to go. So a shorter way, we basically create a new screen, I guess so. Yeah, create a new screen. I think that's much better. I record that because it's not going to have the whole stuff our mobile kind of like, you're not going to have the whole stuff that the desktop screen we have, just one or two stuff that we want to add on the settings for the mobile screen. So we are going to hide some stuff when it's on mobile, but when it's on desktop, you guys can see more of the settings screen. So settings underscore screen, then mobile dot, and just use a stateless widget. I'll just go with a stateful widget and call this settings settings screen, mobile. There you go. And just return a random container at the moment. Cap that off. Yeah, return a random container. Do we need to do any other stuff? Just work with this one. Just return a random container. We don't need to do much. Then need to import material package itself, library, or any, you can call it package or library. So just import that, and now we could just have this as the one we can actually show on mobile when our app is being shown on mobile screen. How we go through this way? So I will say this, then push us to a new settings screen that we just created right now. Okay, yeah, we are missing a bracket, so that's why we're having that issue. There you go. So let's try this. Give it a try. So right now I'm gonna minimize this a bit, then try tapping on this. Okay, now we have a black screen. The reason why we're having the black screen is because we haven't given it any color, any other stuff or stuff like that, but it makes sense to wrap this with a scaffold, and within a scaffold we should have a body. Is it a body or home? Yeah, it's got a body, and within the body we should have a safe area. Do we need a safe area? Do we? I just don't need it. We'll remove that. What else could we do? So we have a body. Now we can just go with our container again, and then we could just give this a background. Remember, we are using background color from our theme data. I'm gonna say theme dot of context dots background color. There you go. You can actually see our screen showing up, so that's cool. And so this is going to be our settings screen. What do we want to show on our settings screen? Remember, on a desktop app, this is what our settings screen looks like. Let me show you guys. On desktop, our settings screen looks like it just looks like this. Come on, where is it even? What is it again? I'm even looking for the design that I'm using for this. Yeah, I found it. So yeah, this is basically what our settings screen looks on the desktop for most of you who have been following along. So this is how we created our settings screen to look like. So we are going to move this sidebar to be a scrollable tab, so you can just scroll through the tab and select whatever you want to select. And after having that, next we could just map all this to be in a horizontal form, maybe in a 2-dimensional form or something like that. I think that will actually work in our case. So we have an appearance, then within that appearance you can have the theme, the view, all this listed below underneath here. So that's what we are going forward to. So first, to do that, we need to have a column with widgets. We should have a children, and within the children we should have a tab view, and yeah, should have a tab view. Tab bar view. Tab bar or tab. So it should be called tab bar, I think so. Yeah. So a tab bar that has a set of widgets of tabs, type of tabs. Basically can actually be any other widget, but in this case we're going to use tabs widget to actually make our life more easier while working on this. So you just add multiples of this. Trace. I think this is enough. If you go ahead and save this right now, so you're gonna have some issues. So it says fade assertion test not equals to null, child not equals to null. So this should have a child widget, or okay, let's start with test, or we can actually pass in an icon to it. So it should be just trying to hard code some random test. Okay, I have a chat on Twitch from I am Ohit. I don't know if I got the name correct or the username correct. Just let me know. So what do you mean by not visible? You mean the stream video is not visible, or some part of the code is not visible? Just let me know within the chats. I'll just fix it. Because I'm kind of like, it's actually visible because I'm kind of like monitoring the whole stream on one screen. The whole stuff is visible. Just let me know what is not visible to you. What's not visible? Okay, let's get back to this. Prefer the constant constructor. Yeah, just give it a constant constructor. So I'll just have those save, and I'm gonna give every single one of them the same name. Or instead, I just copy this and paste it everywhere, replacing the previous one we currently have. So this will actually make every single one of them to have that constant tab. Okay, save. Where is our tab bar? Can't find our tab bar. Okay, let's go ahead and check, do some stuff right in here, and sized bars, basically to see if we can just push this down. Maybe it's hidden out of the screen, somewhere out of the screen, so we just need to push it down. I'll just say height, use the height somewhere like something like 130 pixels. Might not be up to that, but just trying to force it to come down to see if this is visible or not. Still not showing within the screen. Okay, so we have our test, which is hello world at the moment. Just gonna print some stuff to the screen. Looks like the issue is from tab bar. Looks like the tab bar needs us to also have a tab view at the same time with it. Just implement the tab bar view. The children is actually a widget of any type, and for now, just go ahead and add an empty container to them. Every single one of them can have an empty container. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it has to match the same amount of number of tabs we have also. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this signature has an error, needs us to pass in a color to it. So I have to pass a colors dot amber. Okay, let's give every single one of these a color, the same color. Just trying to make sure that we have some stuff visible on the screen. So we have an error within our app that's telling us that the child of the scaffold must be laid out once. And that error is caused whenever when we add a tab bar and the tab view within the app. So we start having that particular error within our screen. Just close that, both of them, and let's see if we are still going to have the same errors or stuff like that. Okay, we have none, so that means we are actually implementing the tab bar in a long way. So let's look at this tab bar flutter documentation. So let's go take a look at the tab bar documentation of flutter. See if we're missing the implementation. So you have a size scaffold. Okay, says return default tab controller. Okay, within it, and it should have a scaffold and app. We don't need to add the app bar, it's not necessary. And we have a tab bar within it, and then the body should be a tab view. Okay, interesting. So let's try this. Let's see if there's another implementation to that. So this second implementation has a scaffold, app bar, tab bar view, okay. The second implementation doesn't need the default widget that we are using in the previous one. Let's see if there's another implementation. So there's none. So let's give a try to the second one, tab bar view, and then we have tab bar, scaffold, and tab controller. First, let me get hold of the tab controller that we have here. We need to add that here with a single ticker state mixing. That's for the animation of the tab bar. That's what we need, that particular class. And in here have an init state. Within our init state, call super.init. Then after, we just call tab bar controller, and we pass this to it. Basically, we are kind of like assigning this tab controller a concrete tab controller implementation, which uses a length of 3 and vsync is 3, is this, not 3. And once we have that thing, should be able to dispose also. Dispose method. Let's see if we can actually dispose our tab bar. Dot dispose. Okay, we can actually dispose it also. So basically, dispose it within our dispose function. And next, we need to work on is trying to implement this. So you have a scaffold with a tab bar. So first of all, you have a scaffold. Safe area is okay if we need that. Column. Within the column, we are passing multiple items to it. I think that's what discussing the issue. In here, it's kind of telling us we have an R bar, should have an R bar, and then a body should be fully tab view. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and uncomment this out all the way to this end. Then in here, I'm gonna add a shard. The whole shard is going to be a tab view. And then this should have an R bar at the moment. Let's add an R bar. If this doesn't actually come out looking good, that means we actually have to implement our own tab bar from scratch. We just do it. It's not hard. Just implement something like that. There we go. Okay, so we have this. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so this is basically what this looks like at the moment. We have different tabs showing up within the screen, and also added a navigation bar to us. Not bad, it's actually good. Could make use of this, and then underneath it, then we could just have our UI, our theme stuff listed beneath it. So let's try this. So the first one, the icon should actually look like a team data icon. Let's use an ionic icon in here. So instead of using a cloud icon, we just try ionic icons, not add, but ionic icons dot theme. Looks like there's no icon for theme. What about color? Okay, looks like there's one for color. Let's check the one with the color palette outline, see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, we can just use that for the theme. And then the next one being, so we have appearance, that's basically our colors. Then the next will be shortcuts, password and personal. So personal, let's use ionic that what personal should be person, but we have to switch side for this. So this should be first, person should be first, and the appearance should be the third one. So just move this down all the way to the third one. So that should be somewhere right in here. Oh no, I made a mistake in the copy, so I copy this and then replace whatever we have here with it. There you go. I think it's much better right now. So I have okay, person, which is personal. Okay, leave that. And the second one should be password. Okay, that's nothing. Security. Let's try if there's a security icon. That's nothing like that. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we have person, this, and this. I think it's much better. So this kind of like looks like a security, kind of like secured icon. Kind of like, I think it's kind of also shows the same visual representation as saying security. Or we could just look into Ionic icon library and see if can I find an icon that represents security or some stuff. Okay, I think I found one. Okay, this bag, not actually. Yeah, a padlock should work. Yeah, padlock. Oh no, that's nothing like padlock here. What about key? Let's check for key. Yeah, I think key should work. Key outline, because it kind of like shows security. Key is kind of like a password also. They present password and other stuff. So just default to using key for this one. Underscore. Yeah, that works better. And once we have that, let's see what this looks like. Okay, it's much better right now. So we have a person. This person should be using person outline. Person underscore outline. A bit transparent, so because every other ones are kind of like a bit using an outline font for each of the icons, so looks every one of them should use the same. So once we got all this mapped out together, so let's start with appearance, because we haven't worked on person or password. So let's start with the appearance. So for the appearance one, just go ahead and delete all this stuff we currently have in here. No need of keeping them. So we have this. So I will say this when tab value is equals to the first one, show this. For the last one, which is the team, show the center icon. But we don't want to show a center icon. We want to show a column widget right in there. So they should have a children. Within the children, should this be okay? It doesn't require a constant, even there's no need of adding a type to the back. And make this to be constant, make this to be constant, and this doesn't require a constant, but I could just make this for now to be constant, the children. And then in here, just add for the first one, should have a text that says team, or main text that says appearance. Then other one should say team, and view, and rest of them. So let's start with a test, a title test that should say appearance, and the styling should be coming from our team. So I'm going to show you guys how to use a team style. So I'm going to say not team data, no, it should be team dot of context. Yeah, we just, oh my goodness, what I should do, it should be team dot of context. Yeah, I got it now. And next we just say dot test team dot, we are trying to look for h1, which is headline. Let's try headline 4 dot copy width yeah, copy width. There you go. If you want to make any other changes, so you can make the changes within inside the copy width. Maybe you want to change the color of the text or whatever, so you can do it within the copy width element. Basically, the copy width is actually also always attached to every class. So you can copy a class or you can copy an object, then you can make your changes to it. I think kind of like when you are working on JavaScript using kind of like prototypes, copy or something like that. Yeah, something similar to that. So you can just copy the object and then make some changes to it and all those stuff, instead of just recreating the object from the beginning. Because if you don't copy, that means you have to create a new test style and then fill it up with all these features. But in this case, this already has all the features you need. You just need to just change one or two stuff, then you don't need to recreate the whole stuff, just copy it. And once we have that, I'm going to save it, and you can actually see the appearance test showing up here. We actually want it to start from the beginning and not at the center, so I could just use cross axis dot start. Yeah, that actually makes it to start from the beginning. What else? Just add a little bit of a space in between it and the top, so just cut that a bit. Just say sized box height should be 20.0, but I prefer using media query, so this should be different depending on the device sizes and other stuff. So I'm going to use device query dot size dot get hold of the height of the device. Either you divide it or multiply it by some smaller number, and then okay, that's too much. No, just try with 1. Okay, that's still too much. 0.4. Yeah, I think that's okay with us. But that's kind of like we need a spacing from the side of it. Okay, this doesn't have a padding property. Would actually make sense if we wrap the column widget with a padding, since every single one of them has a padding. Should have a padding by the side of it. So we could just add that. So wrap this with a padding widget. That should be this. Remove the constant, and I'm going to say padding dot only, or just use symmetric, and then tap into the horizontal axis. When it's padding across this axis, should always remain the same. So depend without, even if the device is small or big, just keep the same padding on the horizontal axis. Then on the vertical axis, like this, I'm going to copy the same stuff we did here, and then comment this one out because we probably don't need it anymore. So save this. You see the same top spaces applied, and then also have these spaces by the side and also on the right side also. But for now, we can't see it on the right hand side until we push this to the right. That's only when we see that. So see if that works. So I can just say end, save. You can actually see the same spaces is being applied at the right hand side. Just keep this from the start. There you go. Save. Then we can actually make the appearance to be bold. They are using font weight. So font weight around 600 should be okay for us. Yeah, appearance. Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah, and then we have the text that says theme for each of these views right here that we are seeing currently right in here. But in this case, I don't need to actually implement all this from the beginning again. What I need to do is to go to the settings screen that we created previously and just do some copying and pasting, and just copy that particular view that we are looking for. Actually, it's settings view. Go to settings. No. Okay, yeah, I see that. So inside the settings view, could just okay, the settings view has the theme and all those properties that we are looking for. Okay, I see position column, position element also. We have theme changer. Okay, I see that. Just copy this all the way to this point. looks like we are copying the whole stuff. So let's see where we want to stop. So we definitely want to stop. Oh, that's kind of like the whole thing that we're copying. Okay, let's try it. Okay, I see from row widgets all the way to this point. Just copy that. Or before we do the copying, let's see what this settings view should look like if we are to use it directly inside here. I think that should make sense. So I'm gonna say, instead of this having a column, I would remove this and then start with child becomes a settings view, just like this. Then import a settings view, then mark this to be constant. So it requires something called onClose function, so I'm going to pass the onClose function to it. And if you go ahead and save it, so this is basically what the settings view is going to look like. So this is actually what the whole stuff is going to look like, and you actually see that the theme is being applied also. Immediately you tap on it, you can actually see our theme is taking shape, and you can actually see the theme is being applied to our app. Once we tap on it, and we just go back, select, go back to light theme, but it's actually hiding the rest of the whole theme, and that for that reason is not actually good. In this case, you can actually see this button showing up here. We don't need that button, so that makes it bad to use this settings view here, because we actually made the settings view to actually adapt only on desktop and web platforms, and on desktop and web platform, not on mobile. So for mobile, it would actually make sense to recreate it in a different way. So let's keep with what we have at the moment. So I will go in here, just copy most of the stuff we have in the settings view, which should start out being from here all the way to here. Just copy all the way to here, and then paste it right in settings screen. Settings screen mobile. After this, next should be what we copied, and then we need to import this theme changer for changing our themes. Import brand colors. What else? All these ones, we're going to wrap them, uncomment them out, as we haven't fully implemented the whole stuff. Just uncomment every single one of them out, and uncomment this out also, these two, and do the same for the remaining one. Uncomment out. Oh, that's not the remaining one. Okay, there's one more. Uncomment that out. And there you go. You can actually see that showing up within our app. But that's not the end. We still have to do some cleanup on it. The first cleanup is a way to actually have all this visible to us and not off the screen. I'm thinking maybe using wrap widget. Okay, yeah, wrap widget to actually make it look this way, but still not up to what we want. That's another one we can use. We can just use grid view for that instead of grid view there. So just use grid view, and this requires us to have, what is it missing? The name parameter grid delegate is required, but there's no corresponding argument. So you need us to pass a grid delegate to it. Where is it again? this is a type of sliver delegate widget. See the full implementation of this grid delegate property for our grid view. Okay, so this is what we are looking for. Just copy that out. Should fix the issue. So let's go ahead and paste that in here. So we have a type, so sliver grid delegate with fixed cross axis counts. So in this case, we want our axis count to be 2. Basically, what we are saying, we want this to be 2 on each row. So 1 2 1 2 1 2. And if you go ahead and save this, oh my goodness, our grid view is no longer to be found. So what happened? Tab. Try this again. So we have grid view, and we don't need to add a controller, we don't need to let's change in this cross axis count to 1. See if that shows up. Okay, if that's the case, I could have this with a size box to give it a size. Then we could just say width is media query dot of context dot size dot width. We could have the height to be media query dot of context dot size dot height. There you go. Next, take this back to 2. Yeah, I think that's much better. And bottom overflowed by how many pixels? 332 pixels. Okay, yeah. So just let's try seeing which size we fixed it. Let's try 300 until we have this visible a bit. So let's try 340 or about 360. Okay, yeah, I think that's much better. So now as this is visible, you can just toggle any of them, but the toggling is not actually added at the moment. So next, below it, I need to add another view called view, another one called view underneath it. So we still need to copy that over, so that should be inside our main screen view, and that should be after theme changer, which is this. We have something called view, which is this, and let's see. Okay, yeah, so we have our view, which is also a theme changer that we need, and start from here all the way to this point. And it's actually two icons in a row, so we don't need to use a grid view for this. We just basically use the same row we are using, the same row which it came with, so no need of changing it to grid view. And I need to add that in here. Then need to comment these ones out at the moment, since we are not currently have not implemented it yet. Still needs to be implemented, so just comment them out. Go ahead and save. There you go, you have this showing up. Needs us to give it a height and width, so I'm going to say wrap width, sized box, and width should be the same as we did right here at the top. Just copy both, add them right in here, change this to 260. So this will be, so still having an issue by the left hand side. Okay, if that's going to be an issue, I'm going to replace it with a grid view, and within my grid view I'm still going to use the same grid view delegates I currently have at the top. As one, so it's just going to resize the children to fit in. And after adding that, so we have this bottom overflowed issue, say it should be 160. We need to wrap the whole side, not sidebar, not tabbar, but the whole padding widget with a scrollable view. I think that will actually work much better. So we just have to do some stuff like this: sized scroll view, no, single child scroll view. That removes the error we are having. So let me explain what that actually did right now. So we are having the space out of bound or space overflowed issues or size overflowed issues. Those are kind of like those the issues we are going to get, and this is going to solve it. So when you have, let's say, height overflowed or width overflowed issue, basically height overflowed issue on the vertical axis, what is mean that is that there's no space to render the child is supposed to render on this particular screen or on this particular view. So that means the child is bigger than the current available spaces, within your screen. What you need to do is to wrap it with a single side scroll view. That means the height should actually extend more off the screen, like you can't see it, but it's kind of like off the screen. So if you go ahead and scroll, then you can be able to see the side widgets, but yeah, some stuff like that. And you can just scroll up or fully scroll them down. There you go. But there's some changes we can still make to this to fix some stuff. We could say that we have this grid view. Maybe you can actually do what we call you can have multiple grid view inside a grid view. Yeah, I think that will actually solve the issues I'm having here. Let's see if we can turn off the scroll. Is this scrollable? Yeah, we can turn off the scroll bar once. Okay, to make something clear, because we're having these kind of like issues right here, you can see all this kind of looks like an independent scrolling view within each other. One way to fix that, which we did and we didn't go deeper into it because I don't want to actually do any work on it, is to have this wrapped inside a row. We can use a row in it instead of using a grid view. For this, we just use a row, or we could just use a wrap widget within it. But we need to be able to allow that row to have a good width so that it can be able to be containable, contain issue then, or we could just use expanded widgets within issue then to actually be accommodatable within by the parent row. So that's one way to actually fix the issues that we previously have. Or you could just leave it this way, but the issue with this one is that the user when the user scrolls up, it's harder for them to scroll down, unless they kind of like goes outside here to scroll up and down. But once they're in here, they can scroll like this and they can scroll like this to scroll up. They have to be somewhere here or somewhere here by the left to scroll up and down, here to scroll up and down, or here to scroll up and down. But once they're in here, they can scroll up and they can scroll up and down. So that's the side effect or the issue with kind of going through this medium and some stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's a lot for today. We could have gone deeper to actually have this to be changeable, so that I can actually change our themes by tapping on any of these, but we can't do it right now because I'm almost past the stream time. I'm going to move that up to tomorrow, so we can actually try that one tomorrow. By tomorrow we should be able to have the themes working in a way that we want, and also have the top bar change whenever we change the theme. Also, we can work on those stuff tomorrow. Also probably persist the theme that the user selected in a database, or maybe in our own what is it called again? Using a synchronous storage to kind of like save it within a key value store in our iOS or Android app, not a database. Yeah, that can work also. But I think that's better to save in a key value pair way than just saving it in a database. Yeah, it's not something to save in a database. Yeah, but if you want, you can still save it in a database. If you don't, you can just follow the my suggestion, just save it in a key value pair storage within your app, some stuff like that. Then once we get that working, the whole theme changing, I think there's nothing much we can actually do except to start adding some extra features to both the mobile app and also the desktop app next. So I think that those are stuff we need to work on more. yeah, I don't think yeah, those are the stuff. So guys, let me know what you guys think about the stream. Just drop me a comment wherever you're watching from on the chat or on my social media handle. Go and follow me on YouTube, not on YouTube. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can just go and follow me on YouTube also. Yeah, that reminds me. If you're not watching on YouTube, follow me on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, just invite someone to also follow me on YouTube, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a nice day. See you guys tomorrow, same time. We could just go ahead and complete the whole stuff we have been doing so far. For those of you who are requesting for the GitHub repo, I will just update the GitHub repo with what we just did right now, so you can actually find the new changes on GitHub repo once the stream is done. Once I close the stream, just check out my GitHub. You can find the new updated changes within the GitHub repo. And also don't forget to drop a like and a star on the GitHub repo too. Thanks.